Well, say no, I don't. I treat my grandma like grandma and Aunt Bunny like Aunt Bunny. You treat Aunt Bunny better. You kiss and hug her. Say you and Aunt Bunny love to take shit. I knew he was gonna be gone. Yeah. What? What's gonna be gone? Oh, you gonna let down? Hey, look, the cheeses. I gave her the cheeses. He said, I don't like those. I said, you gotta try these. Just try them out. Apparently, I don't like them. So I said, you try this. You grab one. And retain some of the control. And so what I did, I would write to him. And he was afraid that if I wrote to him, because when I was here, we were going to I watched it down. Before we saw his eyes. I heard that I didn't like it. How did you get all that? And I told him. On right here? Oh, yeah, in the top. He's talking English and Spanish. Don't let him fool you.
Hey, I'm here. Found it. How's it going?
Going good, but I'm sending it over to Jim right now too. He said he couldn't find it.
Okay.
Copy.
I'm burning up my dinner.
Well, mother prepped it, so
you should be coming over here and asking Grandma, how was your night? How did you feel? Oh, Grandma, you looking good, Grandma.
So coming in a minute here. I did want to let you know we got a email back from Elizabeth Sutton. So thanks for sending that out. Yeah, she said that she's spoken to the lab, and they would like to be a part of that project. So I think that I'm happy that we did make that connection with you two in the beginning, so that we continue. As you speak to these different labs, you just got to say excuse me. Okay, you got to say excuse me. Come here, let me see. Okay.
You got Maddox today?
Yeah, I got Maxwell. You want to say hi, Maxwell?
I mean Maxwell. I'm sorry, Maxwell.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing? Good. Oh, you are adorable.
Is that the hockey player?
This is the hockey player.
Hey, Jim.
Not even in person. Go turn the light on. Go turn the light on over there. So yeah,
I don't know why I want to give him a different name.
Yeah, mother does that too. It's Maxwell. Sometimes she calls him Matthew. I say you can put all types of names out the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute, old people syndrome, huh?
Yeah, we all got it. We all got it. So
That's all right. It's all love.
Yeah, that's right. My sister, you had it, Maxwell. So Jim, before you got on, we'll repeat too when everyone else gets on. But I was just thanking Dorothea. We started talking about the relationships with the universities for testing, and you and I had a number of discussions about making sure we have I'm opening it up, making sure we have some certified labs. So Dorothea is taking the lead on that.
Great.
Those calls. And that's I realized later that's what I said I was going to send to you, Jim. Was that?
Oh, okay. No, thank you for doing that, Dorothea. Find a place that's very reasonable.
Yeah. I don't think she heard you, but that's all right. So yeah.
You're welcome. Is that my computer?
Pardon?
Is that my phone that's doing that, or is that because I'm near the microwave?
I'm not sure.
We can hear you
it's
now.
Better now. Maybe it's because. Okay, yeah, I was by the microwave before, so you're welcome, you guys. Like I said, I haven't spent a whole lot of time on that. I'm just trying to carve out some time to do a better job. But I was very pleased that people got back to me like they said that they would, or at least one person. Right. The other ones haven't responded yet. So.
But we're taking that approach. She's calling, emailing, which is good. But that brings us to our next point, Jim and Monica. I just told Dorothea that UWM School of Freshwater Sciences has agreed to be a part of the project. Are we having some backup? Okay. So UWM sent me an email today, and they said that their professor who's over that program for testing samples would like to be a part of the project and expand it to support over those 18 months as well. So
fantastic.
Fantastic. That's really good news.
All right, great.
Yeah. Let me get the agenda here. I'm trying to open it, Maxwell. You want to learn a little bit? Learn about what we're doing? Come on, I'll teach you. Okay, so just looking here. So since we're just talking about the water and the testing, another note as I pull up the agenda is the I explained to Jim that we've been working on. You got it. Good job. We've been working on securing some for pre-apprenticeships and apprenticeships for these trades for doing the installment of water pies, doing maintenance on systems, et cetera. I mean, we have to have a crew in order to do that. So aligned with those updates about the lab work, even taking the samples. Someone has to commit to time to go in and collect those samples. As I mentioned last week, with Diamond Plumbing and your service company, they've agreed to help us on creating, almost like an onboarding process, specifically for plumbing. We met with two, they call them local union, I believe it was 1449 for the electricians today. As well as union, I believe it's local 175 for, I'll get it. We'll just play with it for now, for plumbing. And pardon me. So there are dollars, as we know from the follow up that we had today. There are dollars for plumbing education through the union. So we keep talking about this workforce development and how it all aligns. So we can start. Just building relationships with these core groups, I think is going to help us in the long run. Everyone is keen on workforce development, and again, it's aligned with providing jobs and economic stability within the community, and really, seeing these projects through, because they're not one off. We're talking about sustainability. We need to go for years to come. Those are definitely positive updates about.
Brandon, I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a question. Are you going to need a full-time person in the beginning, though? Because you might be able to, utilize somebody that works somewhere else, so you don't have to worry about benefits and stuff.
Well,
and maybe not even.
No, I'm listening to you here. I think what we did is for
that was it. That's all I was saying.
Okay. No, I agree with you. We I don't want to reinvent the wheel. Like I told Jim, I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing the apprenticeship for plumbing. I'm really learning a lot. It's awesome. But the reality is that's not in my bandwidth. I don't have the time. But filling in the gap with others who are in those spaces already, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel, would be great. I am going through the process of securing what is called a learner's licensure certificate from DPI, which is like the first initial step to becoming a apprentice, then journeyman, then a master plumber, which is like they're a professional athlete.
Like Big Step.
Like Big Step,
Yeah, like Big Step has programs.
Exactly. So getting Big Step, getting Milwaukee Christian Center, there's a host of others, getting them involved here where, yes, we can use the kids from Pep Nation, Milwaukee County, but a lot of these resources are already traveling through the same partners anyway. So just kind of redirect them over to us would be great. So, I say all that to say, not to bounce around the agenda, but I want to, if we can start kind of conquering and dividing this workforce development. I know you're working on the testing right now, Dorothea, but with your history at MATC, all of these courses are offered there. So for the relationships that you still have that are there, you can dive into plumbing or certificates. I can send you the names like we did before of these different certifications that we're looking for. The beautiful thing about these trades is that the more I'm with these plumbers, the more I'm like, wow, I could do that. Maybe I get twist and measure these pipes all the time, but there are areas within this cluster industry that that you can literally find a place in. And so this week we also learned that there are what they're called tech. My goodness, they're called tech teachers. Okay, and a tech teacher is basically someone that has a bachelor's degree or has a certificate in a focus, whether it be mechanics, carpentry, plumbing, electricity, and they're putting together these programs, and they're contracting at 130, 120 to $130,000 a year salary from even MPS. And this is a certificate that anyone with a bachelor's degree can do, but it's specific to that industry and recruiting and training and so on and so forth. And there, when I spoke to the state about it, or DPI, they were just kind of like, these guys just kind of write their own contracts, with these different school districts, et cetera. I say all that to say is that there's just I think that this is needed. And if we can, again, conquer and divide, if there's organizations that perhaps we can put together, like Monica did with the partners, I can work with her on doing partners that we have or you may have in plumbing or at MATC, so on and so forth.
You know what? I'm trying to remember if Brown Deer has it, but a number of the high schools already have kind of like a 2+2 program, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's kind of funny. I've been retired for 5 years now, but and so but just looking at the fact that there are some programs that have like plumbing or construction or just different programming that's already connected with the high schools too, and probably gearing some of your students into those programs would be good before even for high school.
Well, if
and Brown Deer too. Start with a pilot program.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I can do is I can give you I can give you, Dorothea, a contact for MPS. If Brown Deer, I can probably research, or we can research together. Hell's Corner, I know they still have a lot of the trades at their schools, because that is, that's the master plumbers that I'm working with now. They graduated from Milwaukee when it was Boys Tech. And they say, hey, we were doing this, we were putting in hours in the summertime, we were making money, we were just having a good time. And
right
now they're doing
as apprentices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And understanding the process that to be an apprentice is 10,000 hours. It's a commitment. It is, but yeah, just getting started.
Right, and I'm not real familiar with the 2+2, but I'll look at the Cadillac. Lord have mercy, the catalog online for MATC for sure.
Okay.
And see who the schools are if it identifies the schools that they have that relationship with.
And anyone at MATC with plumbing, any, because we want them on somewhat of a board so they can kind of help steer the direction. MMSD. MMSD also has some funding for trading. I know they're doing more aligned with Jim's project on the watersheds. They do like watersheds, water storage units, and things like that. And they can provide some support too, so we can reach back out to them.
Yeah. And I'm sure they would give us a couple of their buckets or 55-gallon drums that they give out for rainwater collection.
That's right. That'll be Fantastic. Okay, so I can give that, Jim, if it's okay with you, that they're good friends with me, and I can provide the introduction, naturally be engaged, but would love
Sure.
to have you grease their wheels a little bit, see how much we can
Okay.
get from over there.
Send me some information.
Okay, I will. Um, okay. So MMSD, again, Dorothy, anything you can pull from MATC for plumbing and electrician would be great. I'll still, continue to put together like this process on introduction to plumbing. The plumbers we spoke to that I met with today, I asked them if they would even be interested in when they do hot water heater replacements in homes. Not all the homes actually need a new hot water heater. Some may need a new pilot light, etc. But if we can get 20 hot water heaters, and the young people can learn how to do simple maintenance on that, can we use these as programs? The What they explained to me, and that's what we call the union, is that there may be some conflict. We're saying we're actually training. I don't know. We have to figure it out though. But that was just on the top of my mind.
Okay.
As far as the other piece that I wanted to mention with the apprenticeship and Teens Grow Greens, obviously that is directly aligned with the program as well on planning and doing the vertical grow blitz. We did. We did have a meeting a couple of days ago that was primarily about apprenticeships, but in regards to the blitz, we want to get Victory Gardens, really on board, and Jim and I are going to have a meeting with them, hopefully top of the week next week, to continue to move forward there.
Okay. We'll be in town next week. I don't need to be included on that, but I just want to let you know I'm planning on being in town. It's going to snow on Monday.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we can even don't get Jim started. He'll start talking about. So you want to see the outside? so,
I guess it just wants me to feel comfortable coming back home.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hey, Dorothea, serious, if you're going to be in Milwaukee, stop off on 18th and Locust and see that dome that is there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put that on the agenda.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. Did you guys see that they're doing some what is that? Capitol something. That yellow building that they built up there on the southwest corner of, like, is that 35th Street or whatever? That building up there, they're gonna do they're gonna have food in there that they're gonna grow.
Where is this?
Oh wow, what is it called? It's called Capitol something. There, okay, when you
It's
go up Capitol, there's this
Century
yellow
City Tower.
building. What is it called, Jim?
Century City Tower, or that
Yep.
whole development is called Century City.
Oh yeah, Century City. What are they're doing a vertical grow garden there?
Yep, inside of
Yep.
there. So do a Google on it. I'll do a Google too, and if I come up with it, I saw it. I don't remember where I saw it.
Okay.
So I've been getting so much information because I've just been getting a lot of information. So,
Andrew, what was the name again?
What is it, Brandon? Capitol?
Yeah, the development is called Century City, and
Right.
It was announced last week. It is going to be an indoor. My guess it's going to be a highly automated system that's growing using LED lights and growing salad greens and things like that.
Yep. Okay, so Andrew is on here. Okay, great. Yep, that's it. You got it, Andrew.
Okay. That's
Did they have an article, Andrew?
Oh, sure. I mean, I can post. I can send you something.
Yeah, could you send the group that article? It'd be interesting to read.
Will do.
Thank you.
See, I knew somebody would have the whole picture.
No, that's really good. I missed most of what you guys are saying, but I will Google it. I know that Century City that building's been vacant for a long time. So to know that that's really good news. The county is putting a lot of money behind agriculture, especially urban ag and entrepreneurship. I'm sorry, and these apprenticeship bits. We had a meeting with Bell Phillips Juvenile Correctional Centers. They're the ones that have been observing the videos that they're made specifically for, and they would like to. I share with them the proposal, the approximate costs of the vertical grow domes, just to keep them in mind as a potential funder that can help us get this done. In association with the vertical blitz, Jim, and I spoke about blue. What is it called again, Jim?
Blue Ribbon Organics.
So Blue Ribbon Organics, and they're currently a partner with Teams Grow Green. I'm sorry.
Teams Grow Green is a distributor for them, and Victory Gardens Initiative is who they work with on. I would guess on these blitzes, because the beds that they put in on the blitz are roughly 1 yard of soil.
Okay. It does say that in their description of the blitz on Victory Gardens. So we're looking to basically again not reinvent the wheel like Dorothea said earlier, and utilize those partnerships that they have. So Jim is going to set up a call with us to get that. As you all know, we're building the gym, but we also we mentioned this last week, have to take into consideration, the soil, the compost, the watershed that Jim suggested, and those other costs. So he and I are working on a budget so that we can really start selling the piece, and hopefully people can just donate or contribute or purchase, on an itemized basis, which would be good to contribute towards the whole entire project. I think.
Well, I'm excited about seeing the vertical shed, Jim, and Brandon, everybody group. So I'm excited about that.
Well, we built it in October. In fact, Andrew was there, brought his tools, and we're cutting the PVC, and 3 of the teens were there to help put it together. So it was a fun event, but
awesome.
a little chilly.
It's in the 70s here today.
Well, it was in the 30s when we put that one up, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty chilly. I guess I could have used one of those jokes because I was in Dubai there. But hey, with respect to time, I just kind of run through here. You made me think of something. Does anyone have or know of some relationships with Milwaukee Tools? I would love to get them involved, especially for cutting this PVC pipes. I've been working with these plumbers, and I mean these Milwaukee Tools are probably my favorite to my heart. They work so well when doing this type of work, and if there are some relationships, if you all know, it's kind of put the word out. Let's see if we can do some research to get in there.
Okay. I don't know anybody.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Jim?
I said I don't know anybody at Milwaukee Tool.
Okay. You got anybody, Andrew?
My coworker's buddy works there. My boss's brother-in-law is a higher up there.
Okay.
So I can ask about making a connection there. The other thing, and I was actually going to do this for the last build, I was going to take a picture because that was like the first time I used my hacksaw, and just take a picture of the hacksaw and the dome and tag Milwaukee Tools on a LinkedIn post.
That'd be sweet.
See if you can get some kind of reaction. Simply using their tools and then having them prominently displayed, tagging them in social media, that might
you know,
I think it's a good idea.
no, it's a great idea. We did that over the summer. I love steel lawn equipment. It lasts, and their chainsaws, and I would post them and tag them, and they did some reposts. They liked a couple of our pictures with the kids using the backpack blowers, etc. So anything to start spreading the brand and the message, I think is key. So yeah, all of that helps. Monica put together the list of plumbers. And I believe she has some electricians on there too. I'll add the contacts to that list from those local unions. And Melissa will be doing follow-up phone calls with them, this week as well. You kind of figuring out how to manage those calls. I know Dorothea and I spoke about that too. Just I know everyone has other things to do. If you know, if we all need help, just I encourage everyone just to feel free to just ask, so we can get through these things. I think that.
Brandon, at this particular point, are you looking to get the person with the lowest cost or something?
Well, I think in twofold: the lowest cost, and then turnover. Turnover, yeah, lowest cost turnover and an actual report. And Jim and Monica, anyone, Andrew, feel free to chime in. I think the turnover is important because sometimes it takes a very long time to get these water reports. So we can get a quick turnover with a local lab. we would love to have it in 3 weeks, but 3 to 6 weeks is pretty standard with the report that kind of puts this periodic table and parts per million billion in layman's terms. That would be, those are key. So turnover, price, and we need an actual report. So,
You know what, Brandon? I understand what it is that you're trying to do, but everybody is going to be in the same ballpark. So generally what you do is you just choose one person who you've already connected with, who's gotten back to you or something. And what you do is you kind of move forward on that person. And unless they have a problem, then you go to another person, because right now I think we can be moving forward.
yeah.
You kind of spinning your wheels when you calling 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people to ask them the same question, because they're going to all be in, for the most part, they're going to all be in the same ballpark.
Okay.
If they do the same work, they're going to be in the same ballpark as far as what they can do. So if any one of those companies can deliver, instead of contacting all of them, what are you going to do? Put it in, if every last one of them can do the same thing, what are you going to do? Put it in the shoebox and then shake it up and decide who you're going to choose?
Well, that's a great point, Dorothea, but not all the labs test for the same things. So, like for example, we're looking for that question I put on there about PFAS. There's a process for testing that. They could outsource it, I'm sure, but like the university that we're using at Whitewater, he was only testing for heavy metals. So then the samples had to go to another guy to test for bacteria, another guy to test for any sediments, minerals, so that's the reasoning. But Dorothea did get a good follow up from a lab, so I'll follow up with them, Dorothea, based upon that email, and you're right. Just go with the low hanging fruit what we have, so we can get everything out.
I mean, and I can keep calling. I just kind of feel like, I don't know, as a professional shopper, it's like, okay, I'm going to this store. If this store has what I want, instead of me going to 9 different stores, I'm going to take care of what I need to take care in this store.
Yes.
And then only time I'm going to move around and I just think that we can maximize the time and kind of get moving on it if you just pick a person and move forward.
Yep. Okay. Sounds like
Brandon?
Yes.
Brandon, does Dorothea have a list of the different elements, the major elements that we want to have tested?
The only ones I asked her to that she's asking for is lead right now, just because I want lead and PFAS, because I wanted to be specific to that. The
Okay.
bacteria, we got to figure it out. We should ask about that, the E. coli. My thought, though, Jim, just to make a long story short, is that we know which filters pull out bacteria. So
Right.
I feel safe. But the lead, I want to really focus on that one. One of the questions that she has there is, how much for one parameter, and then multiple parameters. Does the price go down?
Okay. So really, we don't need a 99 element report.
Right.
Let's just focus in on the ones that we're interested in.
Agree. So the heavy metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Have you reached out to the North Shore Water Commission? Because they have a lab. Now they actually, that's the water filtration plant I worked at. They, last I checked, which was a while ago, they don't have the equipment for heavy metal analysis. But, they have a list of the vendors that they use. Northern Laboratories is their preferred lab, but I believe the manager up there, Eric Kiefer, he would be able to provide you with some resources for where to get testing and even offer you some price ranges for what to expect to pay.
Oh, that's great. You said that's North Shore what?
Water Commission, it's in Glendale, so it's right off, it's on Bender, 400 West Bender in Glendale.
400 West. 400 West what?
West Bender,
Oh, Bender.
Bender.
And the contact there, you said, is Eric.
Yeah, Eric Kiefer. Eric, E-R-I-C, Kiefer, K-I-E-F-E-R.
Yeah. If you have a contact, we can obviously Google it. Let's give him a call and see if he can, expedite the process. It looks like the gentleman that responded back was Patrick Lieberg from Wisconsin Operations. Does that sound right?
I believe so. I think you commented back to them recently.
Okay.
So I saw an email. You guys had done some volleying back and forth, right? With them. Thanks. So that was good because I couldn't answer, if they had more technical questions, I couldn't answer it. So that was good that you ended up responding. That's what I should say.
No,
that was good. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Way
worries.
to be a team.
For sure. This is really good. It looks like one of the questions I'll actually forward it over to you all. You can just kind of just have reference to where we are. But in his answer to these questions, we asked about PFAS, contamination specifically, and if they, had the common filter used for PFAS is carbon block, et cetera. But he said the same thing that Andrew just said, that they don't have. They do have an analytical laboratory. They don't offer any treatment solutions. They provide some additional resources, to answer the questions.
And here's the reason why water plant like North Shore doesn't have the capability is because the equipment requires usually somebody with a bachelor's degree in chemistry or biochemistry. It's a liquid chromatography unit, and they're not hard to operate. You just need to have a trained operator. Eric actually he has a degree in chemistry. He knows how to run those machines.
Yeah.
We bought one. We never used one. It's just simpler and easier and cheaper to have the labs test for the heavy metals. The other thing I would suggest to look into is you contact the Department of Agriculture's hemp program and ask them what laboratories are testing for pesticides and heavy metals, because the odds are pretty good that those same laboratories will have the ability to test for lead. It's the same machines that they use, it's just different procedures and different reagents. Mm-hmm. So, you may get some companies, some of these CBD processors, they have to test their products themselves, and they may have some spare capacity. They may be willing to do some water testing. You never know. So
no, you're
Awesome job. Awesome, Andrew.
yeah, no, that's beautiful. We applied for it to grow hemp at Hensley's farm this past year. So and you're right, they do test for heavy metals. They especially test for microplastics. So that's definitely a good look. In regards to though, that's another certificate level. Actually using that ISCP machine or something like that for testing for heavy metals. And we were actually trained by UW Whitewater to do it, but we didn't get the certificates. But they trained us on how to do it. Just another way for us to get people with a job.
You're gonna be a jack of all trades, huh, Brandon?
Well, at least just the initial portion to pass someone else through, and get them the support that they need. Not to, I just want to kind of get
To be a foreman.
basic understanding, so they can do the rest. I think.
What was perhaps you could reach out to the folks that trained you at Whitewater and see if they could train you on how to test for the lead.
Well, they did. They did train us on how to use the machine. There is currently a machine. They donated the machine to Stonehouse. There's one at the lab at the Global Water Center, but as you know, they're still closed. Before you got on the call, Andrew, UW School of Freshwater Sciences laboratory professor or curator, I'm not sure what his title is, but he's agreed to work with us on this project. So we still want to, as Jim alluded to, still want to get a independent certified lab, to kind of get the ball rolling here. But it'll be ideal for sustainability purposes, for being a community project as a city of Milwaukee project as a whole, to have these universities and colleges involved.
Good point.
That makes sense.
Just a second, just give me 5 more minutes, okay? 011383. Okay, so a couple more here. Monica, I'm sending this over to you. I'm sending you guys the lab information so you can see it. Yeah, I'll teach it to you.
I did 0, but not 8, because I don't know the letter is 8. I just understood all.
Okay.
Okay. So it looks like.
I don't know what
Okay, I'll teach you. It looks like it looks like we've collected all the samples. The last note that I wanted to touch base with you on, it looks like we've covered everything. Andrew, you completed the Guinness World Records book for us, application?
I did. It is completed. It'll be a couple of weeks. That can be expedited. Maybe for a couple $100. I really don't feel like paying it. It'll be about 6 weeks to know for sure. So we'll see. I mean, I think whether or not they agree to the specific record, because it is a new record, and that matters because they got to go through the process, making sure that it's can be repeated by other people. It has to be a breakable record. It has to have standard measurements, and all that kind of stuff. So they may get back to me in 6 weeks and kind of nitpick about my choice of measurement, and we'll see. But either way, I am anxious to start building domes, and even if we don't get it we don't get the application approved this year, the work that we do this year could be a good baseline for next year, and everybody would know that this is the goal we're working towards. So I did hear back from some folks from Hellerman Titan, and they're interested in collaborating. It's just a matter of in what capacity. So nothing's finalized on that end, but I have had some good correspondence there too. And what I'd really like to see, as far as the domes are concerned, is some dates on the calendar. Maybe finishing up building a couple more domes at 18th Street. I'm not sure if Victory Garden wants a dome at Concordia again. I've built domes there before, but that's a possibility. And just reaching out to more people and building more domes. I'd like to see some stuff on the calendar.
Andrew?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes, go ahead, Jim.
I mentioned this to Brandon, is the fact that I'd really like to, at least I'm planning on building one of these vertical vegetable domes on May 8th on 18th and Locust. So if we want to focus in on a date where we can have materials there. And I think the other issue, Brandon, is that the site might have to be cleaned up a little more, but which could be done. And then we could put up one or two of these domes on that Saturday.
Yeah, it is on the calendar. I'll go ahead and send you all the invite for that date. That's the plan. I would also, my goal. I want to have three there. I think we clean it up. We have three. That's the three domes on the north side.
Right. That's the plan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here, the question that I have, Brandon, is should we build another dome like the one we built in October that is there now? Or should we build two of the ones that we would probably be using for the Victory Garden Blitz?
Well, that's a great question. I think because we have the materials for the one that we have now. So I would say, utilize that and build that one. But if the other, we could do it over that weekend, and would it be too much to ask to do two? Or could I recruit, two separate groups to put together both? Because I just figure we have the materials for the original dome.
Yeah.
We might as well get it up. But
yeah,
it would make sense to do
well, we have the hubs for the original one, so that, but we would still have to purchase the PVC and.
We didn't get double when we went before. They didn't buy double PVC.
We have some extra.
Okay.
But I don't think, because it's in the home next door to the lot.
Yes.
That was extra.
Okay.
And I don't remember it being enough to do another complete one.
Okay. Well, I say we go. I love the idea of doing the new one. We also have seven vacant lots behind between 18th and 19th, where naturally I'm looking at more of the residential development in the community for sustainable city for these lots. But currently, Heather Lutheran Church has adopted and created a couple orchards there. So we might utilize the entire area. We can either use it as a workplace to do the prepping for the buckets, as you described, or having a lot of the materials for installation.
Well, certainly the domes would. I'm thinking about apple orchards where they will cover the little saplings with some fencing and a dome. Maybe overkill, but depending on how tall the trees would be, and in this case, I'm thinking if they planted dwarf varieties of apple trees or whatever else they're doing for the orchards, dwarf rootstock, they only get about 3 to 4 feet high. And then you could just use domes to cover them and keep the pests away.
No, I think that's good. Yeah, let's utilize them as best as possible. There's tons of gardens. Groundworks is I believe Sylvia says they have mapping currently of where a lot of the raised beds are here in the city of Milwaukee. We could, get that map and, start adding in these domes, make it very, a very virtual piece to sell. I think that'd be good. So, yeah, those are, from what it looks like, those are the updates that we have that need.
Great.
I'm sorry. Did someone say something?
No.
Okay. From the looks of it, those are the updates that we have. The last note that I have there, which kind of correlates with everything, the training, the apprenticeship, workforce development, et cetera. I shared those 3 documents, sustainable city, sustainable community, the blitz, and the lead abatement. So we had a meeting today with Catalyst, a Catalyst Construction Company. They have agreed to do a lot of the first phases of the pre-development for a grocery store in the city of Milwaukee on 20th and Center Street. Again, it's a part of that robust, idea for a project for sustainable communities, having these small bodegas like we have in New York. Where fresh fruits and vegetables can, be accessed, as well as, meats, etc. I propose, doing apartments with them as well on top of this grocery store. The space is like 13,000, approximately about 13,000 square feet on the corner of Center and so on the northeast corner of Center and 20th Street. And then there's an additional 15 or some odd 1,000 acres just north of that. There's one single house separating these 2 large lots. So, some of the positive news is that these individuals from faith-based organizations throughout the city of Milwaukee, there was one of the associate pastors from Brookfield Lutheran Church there, another associate pastor from Hell's Corner Lutheran Church, and Graceland, which I believe is in Glendale. Grace Lutheran Church, who are contributing, and Catalyst Development is construction is a part of one of these parishes as well. So that it's. I guess I wasn't expecting that so soon, but that is really positive news to hear that they're going to at least take their first initial steps to seeing this project through, at least starting with one corner store, bodega.
Great, that's fantastic.
Really good news. So I don't have anything else. Monica, did you have any? Oh, Jim, thank you so much for the interviews. I spoke to your contacts, so we just got to get those on the calendar. But gave them the full rundown as well as the questions. I have videos from Monica that I'm struggling to send to her, but she's been very patient and doing things on the back end for us. And again, I appreciate all you all for being the best part of Pep Nation, all these projects, to create a sustainable community.
Well, if I could, I just wanted some feedback from y'all about so as far as the domes are concerned, what do you think about having a separate, it could be another Zoom call, I guess. I mean, I don't necessarily want to double up, but it could even just be an online document that is shared, but something to have a central place to do planning around the domes. The calendar is good. But let's say, Jim and I discuss things on Saturday or something, and, we end up just spontaneously doing a build and we want to add that information. Or even I'm thinking too, Pep Nation has a website, right?
Yep.
What would it take to have a page developed that kind of highlights the dome project, and maybe that be a central location for to direct people to get more information. Maybe have Jim and my contact information on there. And then any upcoming events, dome building events, that kind of thing on that page. I don't know if the
I
website.
think we can do that. I think that we can do that. I know we can do that. Not even thinking about it. Jim and I did also discuss, because it appears that Victory Gardens are not doing their blitz again this year because of the COVID bit, but because they already have traction and history in doing the blitz, even from the standpoint of, yeah, we can have a verbiage or have a tab uh, about the virtual Grow Gardens blitz, but when they click on it, if Victory Gardens is willing and able, it should just redirect right to their page. Right to their page where they already have the back office to track, invoice, so on and so forth. But yeah, I agree with you, Andrew. Having that on our calendar and promoting through our social media, like Monica's been doing. When we do the build on the 5th, we need to record it and post it. All of that is yeah. Point taken.
Well, I'm curious. So, Jim, what was the name of the group that was doing the vegetable growing? I think it was a couple months ago. You did a conference call with them, and then you reported back. Have you done any more video conferences with that group, or do you know what they're up to?
You're going to have to refresh me, Brandon, Andrew.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of. I don't remember. It was a group.
Was this the
for,
group up in
Whole
Madison?
Foods. I thought it was based in Milwaukee. I could be wrong. It could have been Madison. I don't know if Monica remembers those minutes. When you came back. I don't think, unless Teensboro Greens is doing a separate.
No.
It was like a gardening group. It was like it was a Zoom meeting for people talking about growing fresh.
Yeah, that's Jim. He's talking about the conglomerate, between is Victory Garden, Groundwork.
Yeah. This is the food cooperative group, Andrew, made up of Pep Nation, Victory Gardens Initiative, Tees Grow Green, Groundworks.
Now, Andrew, I believe I
okay, so that is so.
And St. Vincent and Vincent High School.
Right.
Okay. I have one string of emails about the Blitz. But so it sounds like that same group is the group that has kind of coalesced around the dome building.
Mm-hmm. That's one of their focuses. The other focus is on coming up with a certification program for, call it urban gardening.
Do they continue to hold regular Zoom calls?
Yeah, there was one yesterday. Yep. What I'll do, Andrew, right now, I'm going to go ahead. Sylvia is the organizer there. So I'm going to send, if you would like to be included there, I'll send an email to her now and CC you on it to be a part of that engagement.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. They prep that the schedule doesn't really help you from a work standpoint because they typically meet at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I know that doesn't surprise you. What I'd like to see actually more than anything is because I know what you mentioned May 18th or May 8th, but
May 8th.
I'd like to see I'd like to build some domes here maybe at the end of March and April too. So whatever works for people.
Okay. No, I'm with it.
Yeah. The only reason I picked May 8th, Andrew, is because of the fact that that's when we'll be back in Wisconsin.
Oh, I see. No, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, that was,
and I think
that was the only reason for that date.
And in addition to that, this is kind of what I'm doing with the domes here is similar to what I'm doing in Waukesha with the Waukesha Makerspace and drumming up interest in that group. And wondering what kind of work I could help do to drum up interest. The world record is one thing. I got some early support from the Society for Women in Engineering and the Society of Plastic Engineers. They're willing to have volunteers come to our events. But even so, I'd like to reach out to some more people. I don't know, and I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. What do you think the best avenue? Is it events? Is it, just having like a web page up and then inviting people to visit it? Because I'd like to see people, if they can, maybe help donate for materials.
Mm-hmm.
These grants are.
My initial reaction is I think it should go through Pep Nation.
You mean for the money's being donated?
Well, tie it all together, with Pep Nation TV and a website, et cetera, et cetera. But I think I'd keep it all under one umbrella.
That would be interesting content. I think doing dome builds with individuals, recording it, and then having a quick conversation afterwards. A website, like a web page, where people could donate to the effort, would be useful. And I'm looking into a software for the makerspace in Waukesha called Give Butter. It's tied in with the Venmo app, and it is there's a free version of it, so it wouldn't cost anything. I'll let you know as I learn some more about it, if I think the application for the domes. But that would be an easy way for people to just donate to the effort through Venmo. If Pep Nation had a Venmo account that people could just, send donations to, and then a receipt would be issued. And kind of work on that and let you know what my progress is.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds really good, Andrew. So we can definitely do that and get something specific to the dome. Start generating some funds. Jim and I are going to put together our budgets. Any budget or item lines that you want to send to me too, Andrew, just for those one domes, feel free to send them over, and we can, like you talk about, if someone just says, hey, we're going to, like the blue ribbon, we're going to donate all of the, whatever item they decide, PVC pipe, whatever it is, but having that budget and knowing the cost for one unit, and versus 100 is going to help us help people contribute. The last thing I just wanted to remind us on. You talked about the content, which is great. I know that made Monica smile. So if we can get some practice in with those domes, great. Start engaging the kids sooner than later, just to get the practice. But I know we mentioned this in the last call about having some type of tracking Excel document. So we can say, like you said, Jim have a meeting, we can constantly update that, and people can always feel comfortable with actually telling the story based upon what those updates are on that document.
Sounds good.
I really appreciate you all. We got the full hour in today, exactly. So
Bing.
that's really good. So thank you again. I know I'll speak to you all. Thanks for answering my phone calls when I bug you. And let's continue to put forth the effort. We're seeing progress.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everyone.
So good,
Bye,
everyone.
Bye.
See how pretty it is out here? Oh, no. See you guys later.
All right. See you later. All right. You ready? Okay.